The Power V8 Cup Series once again returns to the famous Daytona International Speedway, set to kick off another great season of racing. Hello everyone and welcome back as we get set for the second season of Power V8 Cup Series action. We are set for another amazing race as we are here for the second annual Royal T Grafix 500, and is sure going to be a race you will not want to miss. 42 drivers are set and locked in today as we have an exciting field to present you. Many of these drivers in the race before, while a lot of them are looking at making this race for the very first time. We'll go ahead and get you caught up with all the latest news and headlines going into today's race. Coming into today's event, as mentioned earlier, we have many of drivers that are going in with quite a bit of inexperience. A total of 17 drivers are going to be making their first ever Royal T Grafix 500 start, and 3 of those drivers are making their first ever Power V8 Cup Series start, as they are going to be fighting for the Rookie of the Year honors in the V8 Cup Series. Those 3 drivers being the 37 of Zachariah Armstrong, the 72 of Hector Palma, and the 97 of Saber Fox. All 3 of them making their very first ever debut Power V8 Cup Series start. And what way to do it than here in the biggest race of the season. But as mentioned earlier too, there's a lot of drivers either came in midway through the season last year or didn't make the race throughout the duels and the qualifying races last year, so they will be making their debut Royal T Grafix 500 starts as well. Overall, with the V8 Cup Series, we've seen a lot of changes and a lot of action and drama since we were last here at Daytona last year. But it is looking like the possible trend, at least from what we've seen from our first season, the winner of this race could end up winning you the champion. As we've seen here, Ethan Hayden carrying the number 1 for this season, as he is the defending V8 Cup Series champion, winning in dramatic fashion at the last race of the season, just by 1 point over the likes of Christian Russell. Russell obviously not returning to V8 Cup Series action, but Hayden here to defend not only his V8 Cup Series crown, but also going to try to defend the Royal T Grafix 500 and look to go back to back at Daytona. Interestingly enough, starting right next to him is Christian Vargas, another guy who got it done here at Daytona. He won during the summer race here at this track, so it'll be interesting to see both those guys starting in the same row. 2 guys that know how to get it done here at Daytona. As mentioned earlier, we're having a slight change in the format of this season. Obviously, all 42 cars that you'll be seeing here locked into each and every single race. So every car, every team, every driver you see, you'll see them across all 20 Power V8 Cup Series races this year. A little bit of a change in the points format as well. The top 20 that finish will now go on to score points. Last year obviously was just the top 15, is now been expanded to the top 20, so there are now 5 more points paying positions that you can go out and get. The number of points that you can score is still the same. The maximum amount of points you can get is 40, but there are now 5 more spots for point spots that will pay out in each and every single race. So that'll play a huge factor going into the championship overall, knowing that there are extra points out there for the taking for a lot of these drivers, and it could play a huge difference going into the regular season finale and the championship gauntlet. One driver who's going to be hoping for some much better results than the race from last year is Dylan Hayden in the number 48. Hayden obviously suffered a very vicious crash going up and over into the catch fence, and this wreck as a result would cost him to miss out on the ensuing 3 races after that, and overall it would shake him up badly for the good bit of the first half of the season, as he would struggle to qualify for most of the races ensuing afterwards when he returned from his injury. Since then, Hayden was able to turn it around, though, and had himself a much better second half of the year and would end up winning towards the end of the season at Atlanta during the 17th race of the year. But nonetheless, Dylan Hayden going to have a good starting position rolling off in the 5th spot today. He is going to look to try to have redemption and try to conquer the track that took him out last year. Alright, before we get this race kicked off, we will go ahead and get you your starting lineup for today's race. The pole position would be determined by almost a tie. It would go down to 5 digits of exactness between our first 2 runners, and it would end up being a Dodge lockout. But Ronnie Martin would just narrowly end up taking the pole. One of the pole sitters last year won the dual races, and in this year wins in outright qualifying. So Ronnie Martin showing that his Dodge is very fast when it comes to speed weeks, and Cody Goforth lining up on the outside of him as well. Goforth trying to get himself some redemption and still in search of his first career win, a Dodge lockout on the front row nonetheless, though. So both those teams and the manufacturer is going to be very happy about that. Right behind them, it is a pair of rookies, 2 of our 3 rookies actually. Saber Fox lining up on the inside in their number 97, and Hector Palma, both of which these drivers making their first career power starts, and they're doing it in the biggest race possible. So that's definitely going to be interesting to see how they do in today's race. Lining up behind them is going to be Dylan Hayden, who, as mentioned earlier, was taken aback in that vicious wreck in the catch fence last season that caused him to miss some races and shook him up badly. And to his outside is going to be Riley Spurley, whose only start in the Power V8 Cup Series was at the 2nd Talladega race last season. So he's got some super speedway experience, but nonetheless, Riley Spurley looking to be one of the many inexperienced going into this race. Behind him, we'll see already Alejo line up in the 7th position, and to his outside will be Tari Lowell, winner of the Bristol race last season. And behind him is going to be Ricky Freeman Jr. lining up on the inside, and Leland Hill will round out the top 10. Leland Hill, obviously the Martinsville, the 2nd Martinsville race winner of last year. Lining up just outside the top 10, it is going to be James Fletcher starting in the 11th position. He will have Nick Kennedy to his outside, 2 guys that are experienced. Fletcher, though, making his first career Royal T Grafix 500 start. He missed the race last year after getting wrecked out in the qualifying races. So Fletcher going to try to bounce back in this race and see if he can get some much better results than what he had last year. Lining up in row 7, we'll see Zachary DeLello and Roberto Crown Jr. Crown Jr. was the regular season champion last year, but after the first race of the gauntlet, he did not have himself a very good remainder of the season. Crown Jr. going to try to take it all here in the very first race of the season. Row 8, we will see a Fitzwater Australia Racing lockout. Zachary Fitzwater himself will line up on the inside, with Ruben Gonzalez lining up on the outside. Gonzalez finished 2nd in last year's race. We'll see if he can finish 1 spot higher than what he did in the year prior. Lining up behind them is Michael Canaday making his 2nd Royal T Grafix 500 start, and Seishin Tomioka making his first career start, coming off of a lightning hot performance coming in the 2nd half of the season last year and winning 2 races, and was a close championship gauntlet contender. Another gauntlet contender from last year that was very close to winning the championship was Justin Henley. Just came about 20 laps away from winning it all before being taken out in a very vicious crash there, looking to bounce back from that poor performance after what looked to be almost a dominating win. Henley going to try to bounce back from that, starting in the 19th position, and Landon Lonneback will round out our top 20. Just behind them is our defending winner of this race and champion, Ethan Hayden, lining up on the outside, and Christian Vargas lining up on the inside of row 11. Both of these drivers won here at Daytona last season. 2 guys that know how to get it done, lining up in the 11th row. Just behind them, we'll see JQ Halleck and Zachariah Armstrong lining up in the 12th row. Armstrong making his debut race, the third of the rookies in the field, and JQ Halleck returning once again to the Power V8 Cup Series. Owen Scott will line up in the 25th spot. Outside of him, Dale Cole Jr. Cole Jr. making his first 500 start. Owen Scott trying to go for redemption and going to try to win this race once again for the second time this year, going for his second attempt at it. Row 14 will see the likes of Devon Fair and Xander Howell, both making their first 500 starts, and both on new teams as well this year. Devon Fair going to Sinclair Canada Racing, and Xander Howell going over to Owen Scott Racing. And rounding out our top 30, we're going to see the likes of Marcus Brown and Miles Mashburn, two Mercedes guys, two new full-time Mercedes guys. Mashburn moving over from his team that he sold off at the midway point last season, and Marcus Brown getting the promotion to full-time status this year. Just outside the top 30, we will have Jeff Bolton and Chris Parker. Parker won in fuel mileage savings from the second Talladega race, so he knows how to get it done on the super speedways, but fuel mileage doesn't look to be a factor in this race. And Jeff Bolton going to try to make the race. This is his first 500 start after missing out on the race last year. Just behind them, we'll have the likes of Arvin Basic and Brett Bishop. Bishop, the last driver to win a V8 Cup Series race. He won our season finale and is going to try to defend his race winning from there. And just behind them, starting deep in the field, we will have Nelson Reeves and Alexander Rowe. Reeves starting in the same row, Parker on the inside of Reeves. And then we will have Alexander Rowe and Flandre Wilson behind them in row 19. And rounding out the top 40 starters, Cam Wright Sr. starting deep in the field, and David Dixon lining up on the outside, both drivers making their second 500 start as well. And finally, rounding out our field for today's race, Riley Hill going to start in the second to last position after starting from the pole last year, winning in the duel. Hill going to have to go from second to last if he'll want to win this race. And John McFadden in his first 500 start going to have to start from the very back of the pack. All right, we are ready to send it down trackside to kick off the command for the second annual Royal T Grafix 500 here at the Daytona International Speedway. We're ready to kick off Season 2.
Drivers, start your engines!
All right, the engines are fired up, the crowd is amplified, and we are ready to get this season underway and started here at Daytona. We'll go ahead and get you caught up with the track facts real quick before we get into this race during our pace lap. We are set to run 50 laps around this 2.5 mile super speedway. This behemoth of a racetrack, very legendary, and has had some amazing finishes over the years, including some incredible racing in our very own. It's a beautiful day in Daytona Beach, Florida. 85 degrees Fahrenheit is the weather, with the wind coming in from 9 miles per hour from the west direction. Fuel window is looking to be between about 32 to 35 laps, so that is going to be the expected range of how long drivers are going to pit and within the time frames that they are going to pit. As long as your car is good on fuel, you should be good for the race. Tires not going to be much of a factor in this one. Ethan Hayden is the defending winner of this very race, but Christian Vargas is technically the last person to win here, as he was the winner for the summer race last season. So we've got two drivers who know how to get it done here. It is a Dodge lockout on the front row. Ronnie Martin for Ronnie Racing on the inside, and Cody Goforth for Fitzwater Australia Racing heads the outside. Will any of the two be first to finish the start-finish line come the end of the first lap? We'll yet to see, but the pace car is ready to dive down pit road. And we are just about set here to go green. Pace cars in. Green flag is out here at Daytona. Nice clean jump at the start here. Seeing a lot of the field still trying to get themselves settled in, but it is looking like Saber Fox is going to come across the start-finish line and lead the very first lap of Season 2. Right now as this hits though, here comes James Fletcher trying to get a good charge from Zachary DeLello. Some intense racing here in the back. Oh, trouble already! We've already got a wreck! The big one is involved. Ethan Hayden is around. It only took 2 laps to get the first wreck ensued. Caution is out. 2 of the Jeff Bullen Racing cars involved. More wrecks. Devon Fair involved. Nelson Reeves gets involved as well. There's even more chaos as they race back to the line. Saber Fox going to hang on to the lead as the caution is out for the first time today. Already on lap 2. They might still be wrecking in the back here. Berto Crown Jr. trying to get his car woed down. Let's go ahead and get a replay. Check out everything that happened there. So this wreck is going to start deep on the backstretch here. Ethan Hayden going to give a big push to Landon Laudenbach. And that's going to clip the 26 of Gonzalez into the 53. From then on there, a lot of it seemed to have been a big domino effect. And a lot of those cars in the back would start spinning out. Then up ahead, the 01 of Devon Fair would end up getting involved. And you're going to see a lot of cars come in with nowhere to go. John McFadden, one of them. Seishin Tomioka, Nelson Reeves. Just a big pileup of cars sitting towards the infield grass. Take another look here as you'll see the main carnage. Ethan Hayden going to step out, give a big push to Laudenbach. Laudenbach not going to be able to handle the momentum, and from then on there, a lot of it is just whoever is in the way. There is not much anyone could do in that situation. Just a big run early on in the race, going to mess up a lot of people's days and 500 chances. We're also going to get a good look here, see what happened to Devon Fair, what caused this second chain of events here. So Marcus Brown moves down on the 01 of Fair, makes it 4 wide, and then he just straight clips the 01 of Devon Fair into the wall. Fair comes down on the track, takes 2 of the JCM cars out, hits Riley Hill head on. McFadden nowhere to go. Tomioka and Reeves both having nowhere to go. Very disappointing ends to those guys' days there. Go on board with John McFadden. As you're going to see, he's going to get a great view of both wrecks, and he's going to get caught up in the second wreck. You see Landon Laudenbach at the top of the screen, moving those cars down. They all start to wreck up behind him. McFadden makes it through the nice wreck okay. He makes it through the first one, but then he's got the second one coming down. Devon Fair gets hit, and then he just has nowhere to go with the smoke. Very hard hit. Another look in full of this incident here. As you see, Laudenbach steps out, gets into Gonzalez, causes a huge chain of events. Big wreck, lots of cars involved. As you see back here, David Dixon narrowly making his way through. Then you're going to see these guys hit Devon Fair quite a bit. He is going to get massively involved in this one. Oh, huge hits from the 53, the 01, and the 76. on board with Dale Cole Jr. as he gets a great view of these wrecks. Gets involved a good bit in the first one, but is able to keep it going straight. Then in the second one, you'll see how close he gets to this one. Car comes through. Riley Hill helps him open up a hole. A good bit of cars get involved in this one as the big one strikes early on lap 3. You'll see many cars involved in this accident, as a separate accident even occurs after the first one. We'll be right back after these messages.
Thanks for coming.
Eat a dick.
Okay. We're doing things a little bit different today. This is the new 2017 Chevy Cruze. I'm only going to show you half of this car and ask you your initial opinions about it. What are your thoughts on this?
I think it looks very sleek, a little bit of attitude to it.
That is the ugliest fucking car I have ever seen.
And it starts at $22,190.
Nice. That's a great price.
22,190 what? Half dollars? But wait, doesn't it say right here, as shown 29,860? So what, this car that we're looking at is not 22,190, it's 29,860?
There's another side to this car.
Oh, wow.
Love it.
My God, you guys and your doors.
This is the first ever Chevy Cruze hatch.
Wow.
Good choice on the
So check
color
it
there.
out.
What is that? Burnt rust?
What's your first impression of seeing the whole car now?
Honestly, I'm just as disappointed with the back half as I was with the front half. Maybe
Remember,
more.
this is the first ever Chevy Cruze hatchback.
I hope it's the
Let's see what
last.
we got in here. So now that you know it's a hatchback with lots of room, what does it make you think of?
Makes me think of someone that's gonna overpay for a piece of shit.
I still see like a young professional / weekend warrior. The whole like business in the front, party in the back.
Yeah, Debbie Potter's in the back.
Welcome back, everybody, here to the Royal T Grafix 500 under caution on lap 6. About to get restarted on lap 7 due to the lap 3 accident that involved a plethora of cars. But the main ones that are going to be out of this race will include the likes of Devon Fair, Riley Hill, Jeff Bolton, the 53 of Seishin Tomioka, Nelson Reeves, and the 89 of John McFadden. Good bit of cars beaten and battered and heavily damaged, but still in the race. And no car, as a result, has lost their lap just quite yet. 7 cars going to be out of this race just after a mere 3 laps of racing. But so far, Sabre Fox has been in front for each and every single lap, and they are going to look to continue to try to complete that trend. So far, it'll be 7 laps led when we get back to the restart here with the number 97 of Sabre Fox. Pace car about to dive down pit road. And we are going to get the restart back underway here at Daytona. Fox will lead us back down to the green, as we're already seeing here. The high line starting to form up a good bit, but so is that bottom line. Owen Scott already moving his way down low. Takes about a good lap or 2 for the cars to really get fully up to speed. But once they do, they are rocking. As you see here, they are going to get into full strength with the pack that is being formed. As mentioned earlier, good bit of cars do have some damage, so that's going to heavily affect those guys back there. As I would say, everyone from Dale Cole Jr., who's currently in the 28th position, is going to have some worrying to do in terms of their position. But Sabre Fox going to continue to lead another lap. They're doing an outstanding job. But here comes Michael Canaday quickly dumping them off the side. And with some help from Canaday's teammate, JQ Halleck, Sinclair Canada Racing going to the lead. They're going to try to go 1-2 here. As you see these packs moving on ahead. Everyone from pretty much, I'd say, Nick Kennedy looking to stay within the draft. You got some cars in the back there. Looks like Alexander Rowe and Brett Bishop might be losing out on that pack. So right now, this current little pack is featuring about the top 21. So all but one person within this main group of cars is currently sitting in the points right now. Michael Canaday going to come through and lead himself a lap. As we come through now on lap 9. Canaday getting some help from Cody Goforth. Goforth looked to ran very well on some of the super speedways, particularly his home track at Talladega. Finished runner-up in heartbreaking fashion last season there, but right now trying to get out in front and lead some laps at Daytona, the biggest stage of them all. And actually, look at the 84 and the 12 were able to catch themselves back up with the pack, so we're looking at about a pack of 23 cars here now. So all but 3 within this pack are within the points, so it's going to get very competitive, especially when the pack is slimmed out this quickly, this early. As we're seeing here right now, Marcus Brown looking to the inside of Cody Goforth. Michael Canaday moves down low, trying to block the 72 of Hector Palma. The 54 Leland Hill out in front, trying to get himself some laps led. But Roberto Crown Jr. down low, trying to make a move for the leads. Got some help from Justin Henley. The 68 of Nick Kennedy getting a push from Riley Spurley as well. But here's Roberto Crown Jr. out in front, trying to take the lead. The regular season champion of last season. Did very well in the first 12 races of the year, but couldn't really do much in the remaining 8. As we're seeing here right now, Nick Kennedy moving down low, but Spurley might be sticking it 4 wide, just barely were they able to get it settled. As the 41 of Riley Spurley, his inexperience might be making it difficult for the 68 of Nick Kennedy, but Spurley, the one track that he's actually been able to do a power sanctioned race on was at Talladega, so he's got super speedway experience. As here's Alexander Rowe making his pursuit for the lead, getting a good push from Brett Bishop. The 2 guys I thought were going to lose the draft are now up in front, leading this race. Alexander Rowe going to try to make a charge, but more trouble! Another wreck. Riley Spurley goes around. Justin Henley with a huge amount of damage. Ronnie Martin involved, Cody Goforth involved, David Dixon hitting the 92 head on. And we have our second caution out for the day. As these cars going to get woed up. Trouble brewing here as, oh my goodness, cars swerving very hectically to try to avoid that. Second caution is out. We'll go ahead and get a replay of what just happened. Take a replay here. Riley Spurley just trying to find a way to push the 68 of Nick Kennedy, but he's going to step out and step into the number 21 of Roberto Crown Jr. Gets in the way of Leland Hill, the 31. Ronnie Martin going to hit the 41, and then, the 45 of David Dixon just going to clamp the 92 of Ronnie Martin. Take another look here. The 41 of Riley Spurley going to step out. And yeah, he's just going to pinch the 21 up the wall. And for most of these guys, they have absolutely nowhere to go. And David Dixon really had nowhere to go on the 92 of Ronnie Martin. Luckily, nobody else hits them after that, but still, heavy, heavy wreck. Coming off the corner, Kennedy not able to get himself quite cleared. It causes a 4-wide situation, and Riley Spurley going to pinch himself up into the number 21 of Roberto Crown Jr. Crown Jr. just nowhere to go. Luckily for those 4 cars able to make it through. A good save by the 59 of Zachary Fitzwater through the grass, but damn. The 92 of Ronnie Martin takes a hard hit. On board with Ronnie Martin, we'll take a look at the wreck from his angle in perspective as he takes a vicious hit. And is going to come through into the number 41 head-on. Nowhere to go there. That is a hard, hard hit. Go ahead, get one more replay here of the second incident of the day. Riley Spurley going to get himself pinched up into the number 21 of Roberto Crown Jr. Takes out a good bit of cars and contenders out behind him and causes a very hard collision in the ensuing right here. Oh, the 45 of David Dixon just slamming into the 92 of Ronnie Martin. Caution is out for the second time today. We're now getting ready for pit stops, as it's looking like the majority of the field going to come in now within their fuel window. They believe they should be able to make it after the end of this stop. So we are going to see the rest of the cars, what's left of them, going to find their way down pit road here. You're seeing everyone make their way down the pits, as they're all going to take the opportunity to be able to pit together, stay within the pack, stay within the draft, and use this caution to their advantage and try to make whatever their strategy is work. You're seeing here now the 59 of Zachary Fitzwater come in, the 7 of Ricky Freeman Jr. come in, cars starting to come out, lots of action. Pit road very, very busy, but Alexander Rowe going to be your winner off of pit road, going to gain a tremendous bit of spots as you see the rest of the cars come through. One car going through the grass, that's the 26 of Ruben Gonzalez. I have no idea what happened with him, but nonetheless, that would be the race off of pit road for your top 10.
Fuck you, Baltimore!
If you're dumb enough to buy a new car this weekend,
You're a big enough schmuck to come to Big Bill Hell's Cars!
bad deal.
Cars that break down!
Thieves.
If you think you're gonna find a bargain at Big Bill,
You can kiss my ass.
it's our belief that you're such a stupid motherfucker!
You'll fall for this bullshit.
Guaranteed!
If you find a better deal,
Shove it up your ugly ass!
you heard us right.
Shove it up your ugly ass!
Bring your tray.
Bring your title!
Bring your wife.
We'll fuck her!
That's right, we'll fuck your wife.
Because at Big Bill Hell,
You're fucked 6 ways from Sunday.
take a hike
to Big Bill Hell.
home of challenge pissing!
That's right.
Challenge pissing!
How does it work?
If you can piss 6 feet in the air straight up and not get wet,
You get no down payment.
don't wait!
Don't delay.
Don't fuck with us or we'll rip your nuts off!
Only at Big Bill Hell.
The only dealer that tells you to fuck off!
Hurry up, asshole.
This event ends the minute after you write us a check!
And it better not bounce or you're a dead motherfucker.
Go to hell!
Big Bill Hell's Cars.
Baltimore's filthiest!
And exclusive home of the meanest sons of bitches in the state of Maryland.
Guaranteed!
Welcome back, everybody, here to the Daytona International Speedway. We are about to get ready and set to restart this race on lap 16 under caution for the second time due to the incident on lap 12 that involved the likes of Riley Spurley, the 75 of Justin Henley, the 45 of David Dixon, the 31 of Michael Canaday. Also saw the 54 of Leland Hill involved in that as well. Nick Kennedy, Roberto Crown Jr., and the 92 of Ronnie Martin. Martin and David Dixon are going to be out of this race. So another 2 retirees have been taken in this event. The field's starting to slim just a little bit more, but still have a good bit of cars. Alexander Rowe won the race off of pit road, and we're going to see him lead us back down to the green here on lap 16. As mentioned earlier, it's going to take a good bit for these guys to get up to speed, especially with some of these damaged cars in the back. A lot of guys heavily damaged, so this battle for points, battle for the win, it's really starting to slim down even more as we go on. But you're seeing here right now, Nick Kennedy moving to the inside of Brett Bishop, trying to give him a good push, trying to get that inside line for him. But right now it's looking like the outside line may have a little bit more momentum. Not exactly too sure. Dylan Hayden trying to push the 84 of Alexander Rowe. Brett Bishop, though, going to move up to the lead. So good showing of pace there for the number 12. Both Vortex, actually 3 Vortex Racing cars, all within the frame in the top 3, battling it out. Hector Palma, Christian Vargas, and Brett Bishop all right there. It's looking very good for the Vortex Racing Toyotas, as the only one who's been having a pretty bad race so far of their team is Dale Cole Jr. But right now, Brett Bishop getting left out to dry as Hector Palma now finds his way to the lead. We've got Ricky Freeman pushing him. Let's take a look at some interesting radio being heard from Ricky Freeman Jr.
Shot, engaged. We copy down here, Ricky. The pack is gaining on you guys pretty good there, Ricky. They're about a second a lap faster.
Freeman giving very intricate instructions on the process on how he's making his way up to the front. But right now, JQ Halleck and James Fletcher with the charge. 3 wide for the lead. Fletcher is going to take that lap, but he won't be able to lead it for much longer as he's got JQ Halleck on his inside. Might be going 4 wide here with the 2, but not just yet. Palma right now leading the charge, as you're seeing here, the rookie out in front in full force. All 3 rookies still actually amazingly in this race, as you're seeing some of these cars starting to split off away. They got a huge run on that backstretch. So right now Sabre Fox trying to link up with their boss, Nick Kennedy, but it is not working. So right now the top 4 is starting to break away. Ricky Freeman Jr. giving a good push to the number 88 at James Fletcher. Not sure what is going on with this group here in the back. They really seem to be getting held up by something. They just can't get as much momentum here as this top 4. 2 Vortex Racing cars and 2 Chevys, both from 2 different teams. The 88 from JCM and the 7 from Parker Enterprises. As we're seeing now 3 wide for the lead. Vargas has the nose. Going on the underneath of Freeman and his teammate Hector Palma. Freeman now able to come back down the lane and take that lead right back. As we're seeing here, Ricky Freeman going to come by to lead himself a lap now. Now the field's starting to catch back up everyone onto Roberto Crown Jr., which is the top 21. So again, you're looking at all the points paying positions right here within this span. As we're seeing here right now, James Fletcher moves his way up to the top. He's got his teammate already Alejo right there on the bottom. 2 of the JCM cars still in it, trying to win it. The 7 of Ricky Freeman out in front and in control of this race as we begin to approach the halfway mark. Freeman going to try to get this lap led, but James Fletcher going to try to do the same. Freeman will win that battle to the line, but he's not going to have any momentum in terms of what Fletcher's going to have on that inside line. 3 wide racing all throughout this pack still, as it is thinning out more and more. Right now we're looking at the top 17 within your screen here right now. And here is 2 cars. Sabre Fox lined up with their boss Nick Kennedy. Pseudo teammates Fox driving the satellite team for Jeff Bolton Racing. As here comes Nick Kennedy now, going to look to the inside of his driver with the help of a push from Marcus Brown. James Fletcher going to come by and lead another lap. Sabre Fox trying to get back up and lead the most laps so far. That is what they have done, leading the very first 7 laps of the race uncontested thanks to that early caution. Fox having a great showing in their debut race. So is Hector Palma. The only rookie that's been having some troubles is the 37, Zachariah Armstrong. But even then, he is in the points, sitting in 19th right now. Kennedy moves to the inside of James Fletcher. Kennedy now going to try to get himself a lap led. Gets a big push from the 60 at Cody Goforth. Kennedy going to move up high to block that high side. He'll lead this lap, but he won't lead the next one. Cody Goforth now looking to make the charge on the inside. Alexander Rowe also coming back up to play. And Owen Scott right now, we haven't seen much of him at the beginning of this race, but he is starting to make his presence known. Moves to the bottom. He's going to stick down to the bottom. Now moves to the middle, try to block off that line. But here comes the Vortex Racing teammates, Christian Vargas and Hector Palma. Right now moving up to the front. They are controlling that inside line. Vargas trying to go back-to-back at Daytona. And he is going to look to lead the next lap, but we're going to go 3 wide for the lead. Vargas is going to lead. We are just about at the halfway mark of this race. Alrighty, Alejo moving down low to the bottom to take the lead as both Vortex Racing cars take up the top of the high and middle lines. JQ Halak giving a great push to Alrighty Alejo, one of the few Hondas, competitive Hondas still left in this race. There's the 13 out in front right now in the 84 Southern Cross Racing car that's still in it. Brett Bishop giving a mighty push to the 48 of Dylan Hayden. Aiden looking a little all over the place in terms of the control of his car thanks to the push, but he's got it controlled now. Already Alejo going to go out and lead himself a lap thanks to the help of JQ Halleck. Zachary Fitzwater going to make it 3 wide for third. He's got Saber Fox and Tari Lowell, 2 drivers both making their first career Royal T Grafix 500 starts in this race, while Fitzwater was in the race last year but did not have much success getting caught out in the big one. He is looking to have some major redemption as he is still in some good contention in this race. Lots of teammates, lots of pairs of cars I'm noticing. There's 3 Vortex Racing cars still up at the front, 2 Sinclair Canada Hondas, 2 JC, I believe there's 2 JC Motorsports cars up here. Actually, I believe there's only 1, but still a lot of action, a lot of teammates up here. A lot of guys that have some partners to work with. We got 2 Fitzwater Australia Racing Dodges. So it's going to be very interesting to see. Take a look ahead here. Here's where the closest lap traffic is. They're all the way in the back stretch as we're approaching it. So I think at some point in the race, we probably will see some lap traffic. But for the time being, I think we should be good. So far, seeing some pretty clean racing all around. As right now, JQ Halleck out in front and in control. She is out in front and is going to lead herself a lap, trying to have herself a much better race than last year. She also got caught out in the big one, as of many drivers did. As we saw 2 wrecks so far in this race within the first half. We had just 2 cautions last year's race. We might be looking to tie that total, but the way with these guys racing, we could also be looking to surpass that total. So right now, JQ Halleck out in front in control, has a good push from Christian Vargas. There's more momentum on that high side for the time being, but she is definitely going to go try block down low. There she goes. Blocks the momentum from the 48 of Dylan Hayden. JQ Halleck going to try to stick out in front, try to gain some laps led. She is definitely looking to do so. She's going to go up high and then come back down low. Halleck with great control over the pack for the time being. Getting a good push from the 48 of Dylan Hayden. But right now, Halleck going to get dumped off by Dylan Hayden. Hayden now out in front with the lead, but we're going to see 3 wide for first. Here comes Tari Lowell to the bottom. No, Hayden is going to be able to get there and shut the door on that move. Still though, field spreading out, not 4 wide just yet. Hayden going to come through to lead that lap. But Tari Lowell going to make his way down to the bottom with a push from Alrighty Alejo and the 88 of James Fletcher. I was correct. There was 2 JCM Chevys still in the pack. So they've even got some help in teammates. Lots of pairs, lots of duos, and a good bit of lap traffic up ahead here. A good mix of damaged cars. Still trying to keep their way in it. But it's not going to be like that for long, as here we go. 3 wide for third. Lowell trying to go for the lead, but Alejo has the point. Now it's going to be all about which lane you pick. As they approach the lap traffic, which for the most part is single file, but Landon Laudenbach is up on that top side, could be a huge factor to how these guys navigate it. Right now, though, Alrighty Alejo sticking to the bottom, staying in control of the lead as they approach the lap traffic. Ruben Gonzalez makes a move down low. Owen Scott going to try to make it 3 wide for the lead, trying to use the lappers as a pick. But Alejo going to be able to get to the point. Alejo going to get blocked by Miles Mashburn. The middle line now looking to be the line to prevail. Brett Bishop now going to try to go for the lead, but he's got Landon Lawton back in front of him. They're wrecking in the back. Big wreck behind. Multiple cars involved. Dylan Hayden, Saber Fox, Ricky Freeman, Tari Lowell, and the caution is out. They're still, already Alejo saving it. Alejo almost goes around. We've got the 3rd caution of the day. We have surpassed the amount of cautions and wrecks we had last season. And that is going to be big. Caution is out once again. Let's get a replay. Take a replay here, see what happened. We're going to see 4 wide action between a good bit of these cars. Right here, Marcus Brown going to be a culprit. Sends them all flying up in the wall. Sends the 68 of Nick Kennedy around. Good bit of cars get involved there. Tari Lowell, Ricky Freeman Jr. all getting involved. Not sure if we're going to see any DNFs because of this. Heavy amounts of damage to the 48 of Dylan Hayden's car, though. Another look at this incident. Marcus Brown going to make it 4 wide as the leaders approach the lap traffic. Just got very hectic and nowhere to go for a lot of these drivers. And you'll see him come off the corner here right into the wall. And many of these cars going to go around with lots of damage. Once again, the 4 wide action. Saber Fox, Ricky Freeman, Marcus Brown. Just not going to work out. And as a result, good bit of cars going to get themselves involved in another wreck as a result of it. Caution is out for the 3rd time today after a 4 wide incident gone wrong. Involves a wreck involving about several cars in this one. Right here in the bottom, 4 wide, just not working right here. Many cars going to pay as a result. Caution is out once again today.
Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage. Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage. You better come down here, get some of this shit. You like to eat. America loves to eat. So why not open up somewhere America can sit down, enjoy a meal, and get their feet rubbed? We'll fry anything you want for $5.99. As long as it's friable or edible, we're gonna make it deliciousable. We will fry parts of the chicken you didn't even know was friable. The beak, the feathers, we'll fry candy bars. All that European stuff that you don't really normally eat, we'll bring it down here and fry it for you. Ask McDonald's to fry something other than what they normally fry. Guess what you're gonna get? Nothing. If it fit through the dough, I'll put it in the fryer. Hell, this is a dinosaur. All our meats are gently tenderized to their optimum deliciousness. We got fine dinosaur meats. Took my money, made me pay child support. Come on down here and get you a slice. Once they get your social security number, it's over. Motivated, 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 motivated. So friends, let's just decide you don't want no barbecue. Well, that's fine too. Why not let one of my foot specialists or myself perform our magic? Look at that, don't they look wonderful? If you really pay me enough, we'll massage your feet in any of these sauces also. Success is the rule down here at Jones Good Ass Barbecue and Foot Massage. So go ahead and give me a call or find us on the worldwide internets at the new website. That's JONES Big Ass Truck Rental and Storage.com/Jones Good Ass Barbecue and Foot Massage.html.
Excuse me, did you call number 52?
Did you hear me call number 52?
Welcome back, everybody, here to the Royal T Grafix 500. Under caution for the 3rd time today due to the likes of Ricky Freeman Jr., Tari Lowell, Nick Kennedy, the 84 of Alexander Rowe, and the 97 of the likes of Saber Fox all being involved in the wreck. Looks like Tari Lowell is going to be out as a result because of it. And Justin Henley and Xander Howell going to be marked as a lap down. So they're going to be lining up on the inside of this restart. We're going to get going with just about 16 laps to go when we get back underway here for the green flag. It's going to get intense. Not too many full strength cars still in this race, but there are some. that have some good chances at winning the race. Green flag back in the air, though. The inside line going to get held up by Henley and the 99 of Xander Howell. Howell going to move down low 3 wide, so that means both lanes going to be blocked off. Fitzwater and Goforth, both the FAR cars, going to get screwed over a bit by the lap traffic. Meanwhile, this is just allowing the 2 of Brett Bishop to push the 2 of Vallejo to get pushed by Brett Bishop. Bishop now going to look down low, so they're not going to actually look to take advantage of the momentum and instead race it out amongst each other. Seeing a lot of cars making some very indecisive moves towards the back of the pack. But here comes Brett Bishop now, looking his way down at the bottom and in the lead. As we come around here to take lap 36, 15 laps to go. Here comes Owen Scott on the low side. Going to try to make this work. But right now, as you see here, James Fletcher getting a good push from Cody Goforth. Goforth was able to recover a little bit better than his boss was able to. They're going to actually lose out on a lot of that pack up at the top. And as you're seeing here right now, we're looking at about, I'd say, the top 12, top 15 right now in frame. Right about where Leland Hill is, pushing Michael Canaday. This top pack here, this is going to be your main front runners for the win, it's looking like. Unless we get another wreck, which could be likely the way these guys are racing. Right now, though, Brett Bishop got himself a lap lead last time. Owen Scott going to come to do the same thing this time by and get himself another lap lead. 3 wide for first. Cody Goforth down on the bottom, trying to outrun the likes of Owen Scott. Now we're seeing here now we got Christian Vargas down there as well. Brett Bishop still looking to block on that high side. He's still got 2 of his teammates to help him out, but they are nowhere near him for the time being. As Fletcher and Goforth going to make it 3 wide for the lead. Cody Goforth looking to get out in front here at the Royal T Grafix 500. Goforth now to the point and to the lead. He's going to get himself another lap lead, trying to show his super speedway prowess. Hector Palma with a good charge on the inside. He's looking to win it all in his very first career race. As we're seeing here right now, Cody Goforth trying to stay in control of this pack with about 13 laps to go. Owen Scott moves down low to the bottom. Goforth going to be able to block. Palma even going to be able to get in there. Scott did not have enough momentum to try to make a move there. 3 wide towards the back of these top 10 spots. JQ Hallett getting a little bit of help from her boss in Michael Canaday. Goforth goes up to the point to lead another lap, but he's not going to lead for much longer. Hector Palma going to move to the bottom, but then get shuffled back up to the top. Owen Scott, with help from James Fletcher, is going to move up to the lead. Scott now going to wash his way up to the top, try to control that high side, try to get all that momentum that he can off of there. JQ Halak, though, however, starting to come in, get a really good run on James Fletcher. Hector Palma will lose out on Cody Goforth, moving down to the bottom on him. Fletcher are going to come through to try to lead this lap. But here comes the 13 of JQ Halak with just 11 laps to go now. Finding her way to the front. Cody Goforth finding his way around the bottom. We'll see if lap traffic will be a factor. I don't think it will be, personally. They are way on the complete opposite end of the track as they go. So I think we should be good to the end. The top 20 cutoff is right over here at Chris Parker. So this is this is up to 21st. You're currently seeing right now, I believe. Yes, this is 21st, 22nd. And then everyone else on back outside of those points positions. But right now, Vortex Racing out in front with control. Brett Bishop going to lead this lap. Bishop takes the top. Cody Goforth takes the bottom. Christian Vargas, excuse me, takes the bottom. Goforth staying on that top line. Just 10 laps to go. So right now we're seeing these guys racing ever so close in the pack. Vargas moves up top to get the help from his boss and teammate Brett Bishop. As Vortex Racing trying to pick up where they left off. They were the last ones to win here at Daytona. Vargas won this very race in the summer. And Vortex Racing overall, the last ones to win is Brett Bishop, won the season finale. We are coming to just 9 laps to go in this race. Vargas has some good control overall of the pack and is trying to show poise as he continues to lead. Many of these cars giving it their all. But right now, Christian Vargas seems to have a rocket up at the front. He's really navigating that draft well. He's a very good super speedway racer. And you give him the opportunity, if he's able to make his way throughout the wrecks, throughout the carnage, he will be one to beat. And he is showing it here. Coming up to just 8 laps to go. Already Alejo looking to make the move underneath Christian Vargas. Alejo going to come around, trying to get the most laps led. He's got a good bit. And if he can get a couple more laps led in the end of this race, he will have the most laps led. 3 wide racing throughout the back here, these last 10 positions. Anyone in this pack has a shot of winning this race. They just have to be at the right place at the right time. 3 wide for the lead. Brett Bishop going underneath Owen Scott and already Alejo. Bishop now looking to take the point and take control. Trying to put Vortex Racing back on the map. And up on the front. Bishop going to get that lap led. A very strong showcase in performance from the Vortex Racing Toyotas. As we have just 7 laps to go. They keep winding down more and more. Time is ticking. And right now, Christian Vargas going to make the move on his boss. He's going to go underneath. He dives down low, trying to take control of that lead. Not much of a team player at this point. But with less than 10 to go, the whole concept of teammates kind of goes out the window. As right now, James Fletcher getting himself a very good push. Lots of momentum. That's going to help him out, try to get a run. But he's going to move up to the middle, actually. Christian Vargas still staying in front, out in control with 6 laps to go. His teammate, Hector Palma, looking to the inside, making it 3 wide. Going to try to hold the spot there for Vargas. He does. Vortex Racing working in great form. 3 of their 4 cars in the top 10. Taking a quick look throughout the field as now Hector Palma looking to go underneath. He's going to stay in line for his teammate Christian Vargas. The lapper of Miles Mashburn, though, is approaching. They got to navigate their way around him. Vargas stays low. That's the smart choice. Vargas in great control of this field, but now it goes up top. Miles Mashburn going to hold up the high line. He's going to ruin the momentum of Halak, Fletcher, and Brett Bishop. Bishop, I think, is going to get screwed the most out of that. With just 5 laps to go. Not a lot of time. And now the pack getting thinned out even more and more. As Miles Mashburn throwing a little bit of a kink in some of these drivers' plans. Christian Vargas still in front and in control. Owen Scott getting the run behind him. Both of these drivers looking for their 2nd career win, while most of the top 10 is looking for their very first. Hector Palma moves down low. Vargas fails to block. He is not going to have any momentum. Scott now with the position and with the line. Owen Scott with the help from Hector Palma is going to go to the lead. Cody Goforth tries to go down to the bottom. He gets there. Vargas is going to get left to dry. As now they've got to try to navigate their way through Justin Henley as well. And I believe he should be the last lapper that they will have to worry about. They are approaching him quick. Here comes Owen Scott. Has to check up. Trying to go up top. This is going to help out that top line. They stay on the underneath of Justin Henley. Vargas trying to go higher and higher. 3 wide for the lead. Scott able to get cleared. Now Henley's going to block the top line. Leland Hill trying to stay in line, but he's not doing a very good job of it. Christian Vargas now trying to get out from underneath. Vargas going to get absolutely screwed over. Vortex Racing has been getting completely screwed by the lap traffic. We just have 3 laps to go. Here comes already Alejo making the move down low. Alejo now trying to find his way to the lead. He's looking underneath the Palma. And as you're seeing right here, here comes Alejo now with the push from Owen Scott. They're going to leave Palma out to dry. 2 laps remaining in this race. It is do or die now for these front runners. I think everyone from Canada still has a shot unless they wreck. Owen Scott now looking to the bottom of already Alejo. Is this the right time to make the move, or is it too early? Scott now going to control the high side. Here comes Marcus Brown. Cody Goforth making it 3 wide for 4th. Alejo tries to go down low, but Marcus Brown is there. Coming to the white flag, Owen Scott is your leader. Will he be able to lead it back around one more time? Already Alejo trying to work that high side. Brett Bishop trying to get help from his teammate. Palma going to go up top to help his boss. Owen Scott has to move down low to block the low side. Scott now trying to get himself his first career Royal T Grafix win, his 2nd career win overall. Already Alejo, though, working that high side, trying to keep the momentum. Scott has to go back to the high side. Already Alejo with the push out of nowhere. But is it too much? Is he going to leave himself out to dry? Here comes the rest of the pack. Here comes Brett Bishop now. We thought he was out and done for, but he's going to come through. Will they be able to catch Alejo? It doesn't look like it. Already Alejo is going to come through and will win the Royal T Grafix 500. Bishop comes home for 2nd, and Fletcher takes 3rd. But oh my goodness, where did already Alejo get that run from? Something happened to the 15 of Owen Scott. Yeah, you're seeing it right here. I think his car might have let go. There's something wrong with his car massively because he just lost a lot of momentum. I don't know what was wrong with that 15 car, but he just gave out on a lot of power at the end of that finish. And it allowed already Alejo to get all the momentum in the world to take home the victory here at Daytona. What a finish we just saw here in the V8 Cup Series. But already Alejo going to take home the 2nd ever Royal T Grafix 500.
Yeah, buddy. That's another one. That's the way to bring it home. Let's go, boys, yes! Yeah, that's it, son. You're the man. That's the way to do it. The way to do it. Super proud of you guys. Hell to the yeah. Hell yeah! Let's go! We'll give up, boys. There's your lesson right there. Damn right. I was leading at Darlington once and drove in the wire with 3 to go. So there you have it. That's right, man. Unreal. Holy moly, what a car. Thank you, guys. Shit, what a driver. Like I said, buddy.
All right, with that being said, we got our first race done and underway. Let's go ahead now and take a look at our finishing results for this race. Already Alejo going to finish as our winner, followed by Brett Bishop in second, James Fletcher taking home third, Marcus Brown fourth, and JQ Halleck rounding out the top 5 to start the season. Right behind her boss, Michael Kennedy, in 6th. Owen Scott had some issues there at the end, was in contention to win, but just looked to have fallen off right at the last lap. He'll come home to finish 2nd. Hector Palma, his debut power event, he comes home 8th, followed by Cody Goforth in 9th with the top 10, and Christian Vargas going to round out the top 10. Leland Hill will come home to finish in 11th, followed by Sabre Fox in their debut race in 12th. Zachary Fitzwater finished in 13th, with Zachary DeLello finishing in 14th, and Roberto Crown Jr. would round out our top 15. Ricky Freeman Jr. finishes 16th, followed by Riley Spurley in 17th, Alexander Rowe taking home 18th. Last year's winner Ethan Hayden finished in 19th, and Nick Kennedy would round out the last of the points-paying positions. Coming home in 21st would be Dale Cole Jr. Dylan Hayden finished 22nd, followed by Blake Parker in 23rd, Ruben Gonzalez in 24th, and we see here the number 90 of Landon Laudenbach in 25th. Cam Wright Sr. would go on to finish in the 26th spot, followed by the number 00 Flandre Wilson in 27th. Zachariah Armstrong finished in 28th. Chris Parker would come home 29th, and Xander Howell would be the top 30. He'd be the first car to finish a lap down. Just behind them, a couple more lappers. Miles Mashburn finished 1 lap down, and Justin Henley would finish 2 laps down. And of those drivers, those would be the last of our drivers to finish the race. Everyone from here on out would retire, including the likes of Tari Lowell, Ronnie Martin, David Dixon, Jeff Bolton, Devon Fair, Seishin Tomioka, Nelson Reeves, and the 44 of Arvin Basic, along the likes of the number 5 of Riley Hill and the number 89 of John McFadden, would make up the results of the second annual Royal T Grafix 500. With the finishing results wrapped up, we'll go ahead and take a look at our point standings before we wrap up today's action and festivities. The points are going to mostly play out how the top 20 finish, with a couple of drivers capitalizing on some of the bonus points. Already Alejo is going to be our points leader after winning the first race. He's going to have 37 points to his name, followed by Brett Bishop, who will be behind him just by 10 points off of Alejo's margin. James Fletcher in third, back by Bishop, off of him by 3 points, and Marcus Brown in fourth with 20. He will be at a tie with the number 13 of JQ Halleck. They will both have 20 points apiece. Behind them, Michael Kennedy with 18 points. Owen Scott also sits there behind Cody Goforth, as they now follow behind each other just by 1 point each. Hector Palma also right there close in that 9th position in the point standings. And our 10th place driver in points is Christian Vargas, currently hanging on to that last remaining championship gauntlet position. Then just after our top 10 in the points, we'll see the likes of Sabre Fox in 11th with 11 points, capitalizing on getting some bonus points on the laps led. Leland Hill will be in 12th with a total of 10 points, followed by a tie between Zachary Fitzwater Sr. and Roberto Crown Jr. with 8 points each, and another tie between Zachary DeLello and Ricky Freeman Jr. with 7 points apiece. Riley Spurley will sit in front of them with 4 points each, as a tie between Alexander Rowe and Nick Kennedy will occur for the second to last and third to last spots, as they both have 3 points apiece. And last year's champion, Ethan Hayden, going to start off the season with only 2 points to his name, having the least amount of points out of the drivers that were able to score here in the opening race of the season. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of action, and a lot of excitement has taken place here at Daytona. We are glad to have you guys with us throughout this amazing race. Be sure to tune in next time when we come back to the Atlanta Motor Speedway for the DAL Dirt 400. You will not want to miss it at the newly repaid, reconfigured Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's going to be an incredible and exciting race. Should see some similar action to what we just saw here today at Daytona. So it's definitely going to be one you will not want to miss. Once again, thank you everyone for tuning in, and we will see you at the next race.